Welcome to Debbie Does Divorce. I'm Debbie Martinez, and as a divorce coach, I'll be sharing with you advice, humor, and inspiration as it pertains to divorce and moving on. Today, we will be talking about mediation and what people going through mediation really need to think about. Sharing some of her insights today is Karen McCormick. She is an attorney and mediator here in Mount Pleasant. Thank you, Karen, for being here and willing to share some of your insights.
Thank you for having me, Debbie.
What exactly is mediation? For people that don't know, they just think, oh, it's litigation. What is mediation?
That's a great question. Mediation is a process wherein parties to a family court battle come before a trained family court mediator who goes back and forth between the two of them in attempt to help them resolve their issues rather than have to go through litigation and have a family court judge decide these issues. And the issues can be things like dividing the property, figuring out a schedule for the children, or figuring out what the child support or alimony is going to be. And the beauty of this process is that it allows the parties to get creative in coming up with solutions that might be better for both of them than they would end up if they had gone to trial.
Because if they didn't resolve it in mediation and had to go before a judge, the judge really is just going to look at what's on the paper and you get this and you get that, and he's not really taking the whole picture into consideration, whereas if they're sitting with someone like you, they have more of a chance of getting a better deal, better settlement.
Absolutely.
You know, as a coach and a mediator, one of the things that I really saw as a big hurdle were the people who would be fighting not about the asset, but about the emotion behind the asset. It's like, I want the Corvette, not because I want it, but because I don't want you to have it.
Absolutely.
So how do you handle something like that?
Well, that's the role of a good mediator, is to ask enough questions to help the parties to kind of get underneath what they're saying they want. And unfortunately, if they go to trial, they'll never do that. If they go to mediation, they can get past living in the problem and get to living in the solution, so that they can find ways of getting around wanting the Corvette and realize that there are things that he or she really does want that would work better for both of them.
And so in mediation, they each have their attorneys there, so they are allowed to break if they need to take a break from the mediation table, consult with their attorney. How does all that work? Because I know some of my clients had concerns about that. Is it really the mediator going to run the thing, or do I still have control with my attorney?
You still have control, but I will tell you, I have them in separate rooms. I mean, one is in one room with her attorney, the other is in another room with his attorney. And I do sometimes have them want to talk alone with their attorney, but I'm under a duty of confidentiality, and so they can tell me anything that they can tell their attorney.
Great. So it really is, it's a lot of negotiation.
Yeah. And it's different in each case.
And there's things that you can put on the table in mediation that maybe necessarily wouldn't be in your typical original marriage agreement or marriage settlement agreement.
Absolutely.
Right? Anybody can bring anything to the table. It's whether the ex-spouse or soon-to-be ex-spouse accepts it, but you can bring anything to the table that you want.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what tips would you give for someone going into mediation? Because I know it's nerve-wracking. So like, what's one or two tips that you would give to someone?
One of the things that I ask clients at the beginning to do is just be open-minded. Usually I will ask them at the beginning what it is they want, and then I'll ask them to forget about that. And let's kind of start from scratch and see what we can come up with that both parties can live with, because a lot of times the end result is something neither party foresaw.
Right, I agree. Well, your information is going to be on my website, and it's going to be on the TV for everyone to see. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, they can reach out to you. And that is today's segment. Please check out my website, Transformation Through Divorce, as it does have quite a bit of information that might help you. And of course, you are always welcome to email me, and I will get right back with you with any answers. I'm Debbie Martinez. Remember to stand strong and have a low country kind of weekend.